T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today it's Sunday. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. And with me, as always, is Mad Matt from Mad Matt's Mass. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Michael. And yes, happy Mother's Day to all you wonderful mothers out there. I know I got to, hang out with my mother and family today, and it was great. It was great. I'm towards the tail end of a vacation I've been on for the last week. And I was telling you backstage, if I get to end it, if I can end my vacation talking horror with you amazing people, then I've got nothing to complain about. So,
well, that's a good way to end a vacation.
Absolutely.
For sure. Talking horror. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Let's go ahead and see who is in the chat. It looks like B Jordan 66 left a message at 6 o'clock today saying, I'm excited. Well, I hope that you're here and we are excited as well.
Absolutely. Great to see you, buddy.
Lydia is saying, Heidi ho, officers. Okay. Hello.
Lydia, great to see you on here.
Jerry Wilson is here saying, hi all. Hope all is well. What's up, Jerry?
Jerry, man, I hope we can get to talk soon, buddy. I miss you, man. Good to see you on here, brother.
Russell is in the chat saying, what's up, everyone? I smashed that like button like Michael Myers before I came in this awesome stream and chat. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day to all the moms in chat also. I agree, Russell. What's up, dude?
Great to see you, Russell.
And James has entered the chat. What's up, James? James is saying, hi, everybody. Hope you all had a great Mother's Day. You too, James. You too.
Yeah. Same to you, James. Good to see you, my friend, as always.
And Mad Mom Teresa Stevens is in the chat saying, hello, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I hope you had a blessed day. What's up, Teresa? Happy Mother's Day.
Hello, Mother. I love you. Great to see you on here always.
Jeff D'Angelo is in the chat saying, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. What's up, Jeff? Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day as well to you, sir.
Jeff, hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you on here.
Bye-bye Polar is in the chat saying, hey, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. What's up, Polar? Happy Mother's Day.
Hello, Polar. Great to see you as always.
All right. I think that we got everyone.
Very nice.
We got everyone for now. So, all right, cool shit, you guys. Came across this article on Bloody Disgusting yesterday that I kind of want to talk a little bit about. That I find awesome for the simple fact that I love the Conjuring movies. So I want to kind of go over this article with you guys. It's been a minute since I had an article to go over with you guys, so this is kind of cool. See if I remember how to share it with you guys, because that's probably important here. So Bloody Disgusting is reporting The Haunted, a spine-chilling, real-life paranormal franchise coming from the creator of The Conjuring. Now, I love The Conjuring, and we talked about that, Matt, when we talked about our favorite movies for, what was it, from the last 15 years, a month ago when we did that. I think that was my number one, if I'm not mistaken, was The Conjuring, because that movie, I have a lot of memories of that movie. Not only, going to the theater and seeing it, to where it was, probably the first movie that I had seen in a long time that actually kind of, holy shit, you know what I mean? In the theater. Most of them are kind of
We
like,
both put it as number one.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't want to speak for you, but
One of the few
I
times
know
we
it was
agreed.
up there.
Yeah.
So this has me really excited. So let's see. I skimmed over it just a little bit. I didn't go all the way through it. I wanted to make sure that I got some of the pronunciations right. We're doing some huge things here with Cinem that go beyond our Screenbox streaming platform and massive podcast network. Today, we announce a huge foray into film development, beginning with The Haunted, a new paranormal horror franchise based on verifiable actual events. So one of the things, though, when you get into paranormal stuff and, they say things like it's verifiable actual events, I'm assuming they mean that the story is verifiable, because I don't think that, with like paranormal stuff, it's kind of a little confusing to me on how they worded that. I don't know about how you feel about that, Matt, but it basically what they're telling us is how The Conjuring was based on Ed and Lorraine. This is probably going to be based on, reports of other, haunted things, and not so much that they proved that it was actual haunting. You know what I mean? Do you see where I'm kind of going with that?
Correct. I actually feel it as I like it. They're playing it safe. They're saying that, in my take on it, they're saying that they can verify that this was an event. It was documented. Blah blah blah. But by no means are they saying this is a 100% true account of what happened.
Right.
So yeah.
But I mean, that kind of it kind of adds that edge to the story. You know what I mean? To where, like, when you watch The Conjuring for the first time, you get that, as the freaking credits come up and they start giving you kind of, the story of, what's going on, how this was actual events, and they had pictures of the actual people and stuff like that. That kind of adds to the way you feel about the movie. You know what I mean? It kind of adds that creepiness factor to it. And the fact that they're doing this with, The Haunted, so it looks like Synonym will be partnering with the horror heavyweight Tony DeRosa Grun, creator of The Conjuring, over $2 billion in box office to date, to develop The Haunted. The news was first reported by Deadline. So I always trust bloody disgusting news, because I know they're not going to put some shit up, like some hearsay shit, up. So this has actually been reported that this is being made and it is coming out, and they have the people that they say that they have attached to it. And it seems like a fantastic idea, because it doesn't look like the Conjuring universe is slowing down at all either, because we know that The Conjuring 4 is being made. We know we have The Nun coming out in September, which are all parts of this. And I'm pretty sure that, Annabelle probably had something coming too, at some point. Of course, it hasn't been announced, but, their Annabelle definitely has a decent following. So I don't see why they wouldn't have anything else coming out, through that. So it looks like, for now, that universe is thriving. I don't know if they're winding it up, and then this is going to kind of jump in and kind of fill that void for us, or if we're just going to have two running parallel of, paranormal fucking awesomeness.
I'm down either way.
Yeah.
But really, even back to, I got fixated on it. Back to, I like how they did word it, because, like, leave it open, don't blow us. I'm actually more intrigued by the way they worded it, as to say, like, this is a, based on true events, this and that, leave it open. Let us figure it out, leave it to, the imagination and what we feel after we watch this film, So yeah. I like that route, leaving it open. But the Conjuring universe, I'm 100% down. The only one that I did not care too much for was the latest Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that either.
Yeah, but I have no doubt they can bounce back, man. and in my opinion, the first Annabelle was the weakest, and they only got stronger. So, if they can do that, they can bounce the Conjuring back,
Right.
and I hope they do. And this looks fantastic. I'm 100% on board.
Let's see what else they got to say. The Haunted franchise starts with one family's dark and terrifying real life. I can't even say this word. What's wrong with me? You know what? We're going to let it go. Experiences which intersect with historical facts and legends surrounding a young pregnant woman accused by her own father of being a witch. That convergence places the family in impending mortal danger. DeRosa Gunn, who previously wrote the original story for The Conjuring, named it, and created the roadmap for the franchise, aims to emulate that prior success by similarly building the Haunted universe through sequels, historical prequels, and spin-offs. So that's so they're not only talking about, we're going to make, the Haunted. It's like you guys have a universe coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be, not just this movie. Now, with all movies, I'm sure it depends on how well this does, on how many sequels that they'll make to build this universe. But when you have enough people that like it, you know what I mean? That's, that are interested. Like, look at The Conjuring. Anybody who loved The Conjuring is probably going to be interested in this, to say, oh, okay, well, this is supposed to be like that. I definitely want to check it out. So hopefully they can, they can live up to it and make it good for everybody to keep watching.
And it sounds like they've got the right team on board for this,
Yeah. But I'm wondering, I'm already wondering stuff just from the article about what this is going to be about. I haven't heard anything about casting. I haven't heard anything about filming. I haven't heard anything, but This is coming. And I'm already wondering, like,
it's got your wheels spinning.
Yeah. Like, well, if she's accused of being a witch, is she a witch? Like, did she do something? Are we looking at kind of like some Conjuring 3 type witch shit? Or is it going to be, like my wheels are already spinning. I'm already asking questions that there are no answers to,
And I'll say what they have on their side. And this goes for, anyone tapping into horror. The horror fans are some of the most loyal, I feel like you almost don't even have to have a barn burner, but if you can make something, creative, and I hate to use the word, but almost even halfway decent, and if it's something that we love, we will latch onto that, man. And, so I got a feeling there's a lot to come with this. I really do.
Yeah, this is definitely a good one. Couple more things they said about this. The franchise's initial focus will be real events experienced by multi-generational family under siege from a malevolent and extremely violent supernatural forces. The Haunted also focuses on its extremely rare circumstances which occurred when the living persons involved suffered significant and repeated real physical harm, even death, from these dark forces that plague them. The fact that these events could happen to anyone, combined with the you can run but you can't hide aspect of the family's very real plight, plumbs new depths of the horror genre. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That just made me jump on even more. That just made me be like,
I do too.
Yeah, sign me up right here. Like opening night, guaranteed. We are thrilled to be collaborating with Tony DeRosa-Grund for a modern master of horror genre on the Haunted franchise, said Tom Owen, managing director of Synonym Bloody Disgusting. Based on the true life events of these films, will take audiences on a wild and terrifying journey into the world of paranormal, unlike any other events seen before in film. We are confident The Haunted will set a new bar for horror movies and will absolutely resonate with horror enthusiasts as well as every other audience quadrant. You're saying all the right stuff to me. They're saying all the right stuff, Matt. They're giving me drinks. I'm wanting to go to their house. You know what I mean? They're saying all the right stuff.
They're They're talking big.
Oh,
They are
yeah.
talking big.
So, I mean, when you say stuff, like that, talking about it will set the bar for horror movies and will absolutely resonate with horror enthusiasts as well as every other audience quadrant. Like that's a you got to be pretty confident to say that. You know what I mean? You got to stand you're going to stand up there and be like, "Oh yeah, they're going to fucking love it." I already know they are. And I mean, a lot of people can be particular with their horror, and for you to just jump up there, and just be like, "Oh yeah, they're going to fucking love this." I'm so confident in it so much that I'm going to say it's going to change horror. Like, man.
And really, I mean, you said, we can be particular. You and I both, even. I know I'm stupid particular with my horror.
Yeah.
And if I could say one thing, I believe a lot of horror fans would back me up on this. They've got the right people. Just the only worry for me is don't rush it. Don't rush it. That's almost what I felt was the downfall. And I could be totally off, but for the third Conjuring, I felt like it seemed rushed. You've got the right people working. You've got the research to do the data from the Warrens and all that. You've got the foundation all right there. Just take your time with it. And I'd rather a movie come out a year later than its date, but be a banger, than a shit show, that you just threw together. So I absolutely think they can basically put their money where their mouth is, and they can produce all this. Just take your time with it. And yeah, I'm excited, Michael.
I think, and just like we were saying, different perspectives for, different people. I didn't feel like The Conjuring 3 was rushed. I felt like they just picked a bad story, out of all the stuff that they could have done. I think that when I go to watch a Conjuring movie, I want to see some haunted demonic shit, and what I got was witchcraft. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with witchcraft. But for me, that's kind of what I was looking forward to. But as far as like Vera and, Patrick, I still think they were amazing in the movie, playing the characters that they play. It was just like, oh, I had that feeling when I found out that it was witches. I was like, oh man, it's witches. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of a letdown, it was like, oh, it's a witch, like
I'd almost say both, in my opinion. I do still feel it was a little rushed. And I agree too that, yeah, the story didn't do it for me. Yeah. And yeah, it might not have been rushed. I just,
it just wasn't what you wanted.
It
right?
looked well. And one thing I thought was just like I think I even yelled at the screen, like, stop having his bones break. When the guy's like lifted up in the air. And, whenever there's an exorcism, they can just, it's a popular thing that they can distort their body in like, ways they should not be able to naturally. So like a limb going this way and that way is cool and stuff. But dude, like he crackled like a firecracker for like 10 minutes. And it was just so over the top. I was like, I'm not sure if you remember the scene I'm talking about, but it was just way, way too much. And it just took that cool factor of a, body being, bent in the wrong direction. It just took it to where it was like a circus. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, that's where I choose old school over new school right there. Like,
where I think they did that really well, was in the last season of Stranger Things. And that's, to me, the last season of Stranger Things is when it went from kind of like a fun alien, not really alien, but cross-dimensional, like kind of like kids show to horror.
Yeah.
Like the last season. I mean, when those people were raised up and then their arms will start snapping, like they did their arms and their legs, and it was just like,
that's cool.
Wow. Yeah.
But do you know the scene I'm talking about? It was just, I mean, it was like, dude, like it just, it took it to where you just didn't even care. You're like,
yeah.
And I know that seems minute to some people, but
hey, you pick and choose. You pick and choose the parts that
too damn far, and there's a point where it's too much.
Well, you know who you're talking to, the guy that can be pulled out of a movie just like that by something somebody says under their breath or
Right,
something.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like, it just,
that's why I kind of wanted
yeah,
to say that too.
it's just like, you know,
Um,
that's
yeah, I mean, this guy was going like, I mean, it's like, come on, it wasn't even cool anymore. It was a big disappointment, because I've grown to be very passionate about the Conjuring, because they've got some great films, man. So I look forward to what they have next.
yeah. Well, let's see what the chat has to say, because they are very active tonight, and I can see my tab
Love
just
it.
getting farther and farther behind. And I apologize to you guys for that. We got going there for a second. Polar is saying, "Ooh, Conjuring stuff." That's why I brought it up here. I thought the same thing. Russell is saying, "That's awesome." Yeah, it is, dude. Like yeah. I only had read a little bit of it. All this other stuff that I just went through with you guys, this was a first time read for me. Lydia's saying, "Sign me up." Me as well. Let's see, we've got a lot of happy Mother's Days. I love when you guys are talking to each other in the chat. That's freaking awesome.
It is awesome.
Russell is saying, "I cannot wait for The Conjuring 4." Me too, buddy. And I don't know anything about it yet either. I don't know any of the story, but I haven't really looked into it yet. I definitely will soon. I don't know if there's anything out there yet. Russell, if you know anything about what's going on with that, go ahead and let us know in the chat, because I would love to know what it's about. Russell is also saying, "It all depends on how long the writer's strike is." Well, yeah. Yeah, it definitely would. It definitely would. B Jordan 66 is saying, "Wow, interesting. The Conjuring is cool." Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Ryan Frame is saying, "What's up, Matt? I made it to the cast." What's up, Ryan?
Ryan, great to see you on here, my friend. Great to see you on here. And we got some great stuff for you tonight too, buddy. So stick around for sure. Great to see you, Ryan.
B Jordan 66 is saying, "I'm in love with horror." Me too, buddy. And if you are in love with horror, you found the right place to be hanging out on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. Let me tell you. James is saying, "Bring out more Conjuring. Love to be scared out of my skin." Yeah, me too. Like it, there's a lot of people that are like, The Conjuring, it's okay. It's like, look, man, first time I saw The Conjuring, I left there with some.
James, though. What scares you, James? Like I see you being a tough cookie to get scared. Like I really do.
Yeah, James, what's your favorite scary movie? I wish I could sound like Ghostface, but I can't. Like, I don't have that. What's your favorite scary movie? I don't have that ability to do that. Jeff is saying, "Almost sounds like the Salem witch trials." I mean, I don't know if they're all going with witch stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's just one of people being accused, because they're saying malevolent, entities are messing with them. To me, that says like demon stuff. That's what I see.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping so. I'm typically not I'm not the biggest fan when they go full on, Salem witch trial type of stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking more demonic as well.
Russell is saying, "Chucky looks awesome on that." Are you talking about the ad for Screambox that was on the article, Russell? Let me know, because he did look pretty awesome on that. Let's see what I've got. I
still want a picture of Chucky from that fan film.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, and I'm still working on stuff with that, so I'll let you know backstage. I don't want to tell everybody in the chat. But Todd is saying, "Hey Matt, what's up?"
Todd, great to see you. Great to see you, buddy. Landon, great to see you. Great to see you, buddy. That's my nephew right there. Good kid. He loves
What's
his
up, Landon?
Big Predator fan. That's my Predator buddy right there. Great to see you, Landon.
Russell is saying The Conjuring 3 was still a fun watch. Dude, I love Vera so much that, yeah, it was. I love Vera Farmiga, which is something else I wanted to talk about. I don't know if any of you guys follow Vera at all, but recently she did a cover. She was at a club or something and sang Duality by Slipknot up on stage.
Shut up.
If you haven't seen that, yeah, dude, like Vera Farmiga's up there fucking screaming. And, she does a lot of, covers for music. and it was just cool as hell
I did not
to
know
see
that.
her up there singing Slipknot. If you guys have not seen that, I recommend checking it out. Does it sound perfect? No, it doesn't, but it's Vera Farmiga. She's fucking awesome. I mean, when she jumps up there, like, I push my fingers, and dude, it's freaking awesome.
That is
screaming.
awesome.
Like, dude, come on.
Why are you just now telling me about this, Michael?
Follow some social media, buddy. She's doing the damn thing. God, I would love to have her on the show. I think I'd be completely silent, and you would probably be doing the interview because my face would be so red and I'd be gushing.
Yeah, it'd be the worst interview you ever saw in your entire life.
Like, I know, like, Vera Farmiga, welcome to Movies and Beyond. I love you so much.
You are awesome.
You can ask me one question. Let's talk about Conjuring. Well, let's talk about Psycho. Let's talk about everything you've ever done. You're so perfect. I love you. You know what I mean? Like that's how that would go.
Awesome.
And I don't think that I'm ready for everybody.
A smile that'll melt you away too.
I know. I kind of love her. It's fine.
I'm with you on that. She was her performance as Norma Bates, guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was
Bates Motel,
dude. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Ryan is saying, dude, I'm digging that TCM mask on your left there, Matt. That's the 03, right?
That is the 03. It's not for sale, Ryan. It is not for sale. But yeah, thank you. I'm a big 03 fan, and I just picked that up recently. But thank you, my friend.
Russell is saying, yes, she was Norman Bates' mom too. Yes, she was, Russell. She did awesome in that too, and she looked great.
So did Norman. I knew the actor's name, but it has drifted away. But he was amazing as Norman as well. The show was killer.
It's been years since I've seen it, but I remember, so much about it, on how it started and how great it was. And then it started to get a little weird. You know what I mean? But she did great, and it ended really well.
Bounced back. And I'm not a big series guy. I'm not. I don't do a whole lot of series. But if you do, Michael, if you didn't finish it.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I went through the whole thing. I
do felt like it bounced back, but I know what you're talking about. It had a weird phase.
It didn't it wasn't something I watched like week to week. I watched the whole series at once. You know what I mean? Like I binged the whole thing. Like it had already been out and done by the time I watched it. So similar with the Hannibal show. I did that too. I didn't watch it week to week. Once it was all finished, I watched the whole series with that too.
I still have to watch the Hannibal.
Oh yeah, you need to check that out, dude. Especially if you like Hannibal Lecter. That shit's freaking awesome. That shit is freaking awesome. Teresa is saying Conjuring is absolute one that I could never watch. I would have nightmares for the rest of my life. You probably would. That's still one that, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I'm not saying that, believe me, I'm a huge horror fan. I am. But that's still one that kind of like, it's 2:30 in the morning. Conjuring's probably not my pick when I'm sitting at home by myself watching TV. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Michael, I get scared too. I tell it to some people. They're like, no, they think I'm messing with them. Like, no, you don't. You don't get mad. Matt don't get scared. Yeah, I do, man. Sometimes I get uneasy for sure.
Well, you start to hear things that normally you would think nothing about. I live in an apartment, so, there's other people and other apartments that make noises. You know what I mean? They get up, you might hear a thud or something. If I'm sitting there watching The Conjuring at 3:30 in the morning, or if it's like 3:04 or 3:20 or whenever all the clocks stop, and I look over at my clock and it's 3:20, then I'm like, oh shit. And then I hear a knock in another apartment. It's like, well, this is it. I'm going to die. Demons are here. They're taking me. This is the end.
I do hate it for my mother because she does. I feel like she truly does enjoy these films. Like, horror was never her go-to, but as she started to, work the shop with me, get, more invested and everything, she is intrigued by it, and she does enjoy them. It comes down to if they are too scary, she's out. And I hate that, because the ones that aren't, she can hang in there and she ends up loving them. And so I feel like if she could just break through some and get through some of them scary parts and just, keep going, that she'd really enjoy it.
But one of the things I always mention about The Conjuring, when I talk about that the first time watching it, I always like to bring this up, because when I talk about The Conjuring, it's different from other movies. When you watch things like Amityville and, like similar things to it, they kind of follow a pattern to where they have, like downtime, something scary happens, then it goes back down and you have time to recover. Then something scary happens, then it goes back down and you have time to recover. With The Conjuring, it's like the chart just goes up, and it's like event after event after event after event of crazy shit's happening. So it doesn't give you that chance to be like, oh, okay, I'm cool again. It's just like, oh, well, we're going to throw this, the creepy daughter is going to be sleepwalking. Oh, now the creepy daughter's banging her head against the freaking, the wardrobe thing there. Oh, I'm going to get her in bed. And she's going to sit up and look, and the freaking witch is up there.
If
and
that
it's
didn't
like,
get
dude,
you're just not human, man.
Got to be shitting me. The first time I saw that,
Yeah.
I'm in a theater like, what the hell is that? Like, are you serious right now? Like, it just kept going. And the way that the music was, the atmosphere that they set. Look, man, Conjuring it's the bar for me. Like, that's definitely the bar for me. Let's see, a lot of people talking about Bates Motel. Definitely. Landon is saying, I'm excited for Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's awesome, Landon. That's awesome. I talked about with you at the cookout today, my buddy. And I do not know a whole lot about Five Nights at Freddy, but I am glad that you're excited for it. And you'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know how it is after you view that. So
Lydia is saying, I am too, Landon. I can't wait to see Matthew Lillard as William Afton.
Okay, okay. I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy. Now, I do love Matthew Lillard, so.
Russell is saying Hannibal TV series is on Tubi, Matt, saying that it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Russell. Awesome. I've got to check that out.
Polar is saying, LOL, I fall asleep watching Conjuring. Well, that's just fantastic for you.
What?
That's just great.
What?
This movie scares the shit out of me.
What? Take that down.
Landon Kennedy, yes, I'm excited. Such a fan. That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome, Landon.
Jeff is saying, I've never got scared from a movie. Jeff, I challenge that. There has been something that has scared the shit out of you, but you don't want to talk about it.
Look at Jeff coming in all macho.
Russell is saying the witch was creepy, Michael. Like, what on earth? That's what I'm talking about, dude. That freaking.
Which witch? Oh, we talking about Sheba?
Yeah. Up on the thing, dude. Like, yeah,
I don't mess with Bathsheba, dude.
No. And then another scene where she's sitting in the rocker holding Annabelle.
Oh.
Dude, that is like a. Are you freaking holding Annabelle like it's a baby? Like,
I don't mess with Bathsheba, dude.
No. And the fact that it's, there's really a gravestone with, that person. You know what I mean? Like, is the story true? We don't really fucking know, but at the same time, it's
I'm
like,
not messing with it.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not messing with it.
Teresa's wondering, is Skeet going to be in Five Nights at Freddy too?
Okay. Let me guess. She's willing to drive Landon to the theater now. Like,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
She'll get
I'm
the
pretty
tickets.
Sure.
She'll be the.
Landon, just say yes. And you'll get a free trip out of it.
Ridiculous.
Just say yes. All right. So trying to stay caught up with the chat as good as I can. But let's go ahead and run this intro. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll get started, and I will catch up with the chat when we get back. You guys are awesome. We will be right back.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the Conjuring 4 as well. So let's go see that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Jones messed with the wrong melon farmers. Thug life. And here we go.
wish I had you all alone. Just the two of us.
That's awesome.
All right. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Catch up with the chat just real quick. Jeff is saying, I grew up with the Halloween and haunted houses. I watch horror to learn how to do special effects. That's pretty cool, man. That is
Very
pretty
cool. Very cool.
James is saying, Teresa's so cool. She loves horror. Matt, you have a mad mom. Landon is saying, Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars. You ever want to talk Star Wars? I'm not
Landon loves his Star Wars. And
do that
yes,
all day.
Michael is the gentleman to talk to about that. I know nothing about Star Wars, but
I know everything.
But
Russell is saying The Nun was also creepy, Michael. That scared me. Also, The Conjuring 2, The Nun was even creepier. The Nun and The Conjuring 2 was my favorite version of The Nun. Like that, by far, that scene where she's standing in the hallway and, you know, the Warren's daughter is like, who is that? And they see her turn and walk in there. And then she goes in, you see the shadow with her coming from behind the painting. That might be one of my favorite Nun scenes of all time. Like it's just freaking fantastic.
That's up there with horror scenes of all time, really.
That was the Bathsheba moment of Conjuring 2. We kind of had that oh shit moment.
Yeah, I just love the mom. Who is that? Like, what a great question, honey. Yeah, who?
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, that's just great. Yeah, who the hell is that?
She said it like she's pointing at like an ant she don't recognize, like at a barbecue. You know, it's like, well, that's that's so great. It's so great. It catches you off guard.
Jerry's also saying The Nun is awesome. Now, before we start talking about these,
awesome, buddy. Jerry
is awesome. Before we start talking about these Halloween masks, I do want to do a little promotion. Patreon went live on Monday, and I will have my first video out late night tonight, early tomorrow, where I'll be starting a series on Patreon called "Is It Real or Is It Fake?" where we will be going through a lot of paranormal type videos, to where we will be able to watch, discuss. I'll give my 2 cents on it. And I would like, for the Patreons as well to kind of look it over and tell me what they think. Maybe they're seeing things I don't see. Maybe I'm seeing things they don't see. So it'll be pre-recorded. So I'll rely on the comment section for going through and pointing these things out to me, but they will be fairly regular. If you want to support the channel, definitely go over to patreon.com/@MoviesAndBeyond. I think that I have a selection for everyone over there. And starting here probably at the end of May, every Friday night, I will be doing a Patreon exclusive live show to where we will hang out and we'll talk horror. We'll talk about anything that the Patreons want to talk about, and just kind of hang out. We can do a little more on Patreon than we can do here. So it is a good deal to where, I can actually put some music on here to where it's not copyright, and we can pretty much, we can have drinks, we can bullshit, we can hang out. But definitely, if you want to support the channel, go over to patreon.com/moviesandbeyond and check it out over there. A lot of good things coming over there, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm still trying to figure out all the little details out with it. But grow with me over there. Matt, I believe that you wanted to have some stuff that you wanted to talk about before we get into Halloween too. Some things that you kind of wanted to show.
I actually think I'm going to get into some of that next Sunday because I want to be 100% prepared, and we got a lot of masks to rank.
Okay.
So I do. So I want you guys to know upcoming, possible, hopefully next Sunday. I just want to touch on some new things that are coming to the booth. Mad Matt's mask. Again, for you guys that don't know, we're in Monroe, Ohio. We've got 2 booths. We've got one in the main aisle, and we've got one in building 1A right on the corner. And it's thriving, guys, and it's all things horror. All your horror collectibles that you think of, we're trying to get that to you. And we also buy, sell, and trade. I want people to know that we do buy, sell, and trade collections. But we got a lot of ground to cover, man. I want to get into these masks. So, and you guys let us know if you want to see some of the new merchandise, and if there's anything particular, whether it's figures, statues, bust, mask, autographs from some of your favorite franchises, whether it's Halloween, Evil Dead. We try to cover it all. So, let us know what you might be interested in, and I'll bring that to you, and I'll give you some visuals of some of the amazing products we have. So, yeah, we'll get into that next Sunday, but let's dive into some mask ranking, man.
All right, cool. Well, one last thing, if there is something you're looking for that is, horror based, definitely check out Mad Matt's Mask on Facebook. They put a lot of videos up showing a lot of things that they have there. And you can also reach out to them on Messenger there as well. And you can work out any details to where if you do see something on there that you want, you can, converse with them over Facebook Messenger. And then work out the details of, if there is something that you want from over there. So they're really good at getting back to people. And definitely you could talk about shipping, especially if you're not, in the Midwest area, that you can talk to them on there and they could be able to reach out to you and, get that squared away as well.
Absolutely.
We live in the information age, people. The internet is there and the communication's there. They'll be able to help you out. Just contact them on Mad Matt's Mask on Facebook. And give them a follow. They got good stuff over there for sure. All right, let me bring up my Halloween mask list. While I'm doing that, Matt, why don't you go ahead and get started on what you think your mask ranking here? Where are you at?
Okay.
Was it 13? There was 13
I have. So I have Wait a minute. Okay, so, and it's totally, fine if we're off one or two because there's a lot of random masks, you guys. So it looks like I'm gonna have 12.
Okay, well, I have 13. So
okay. So. Yeah, I don't think that's a huge deal, and we'll cover that if there's one we missed. But by no means is my 13th. It is not wrong. I feel 100% confident, and I will kick it off with my least favorite, worst Halloween mask of all time, hands down. Halloween 4 mask is god awful, guys. It is god awful. And that's one I don't have to show you guys. I could grab it real quick if anyone wants a visual. Or do you have a visual, Michael? Because if not,
I do not have visuals.
Let me give me 2 seconds. Let me grab this.
But the Halloween 4 mask, to me, it reminds me of like the Michael version of the new Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy. Like how his face is like stretched, and it's just, yeah, I agree with him. It's not a great mask, but it's not my number 13. It's not my number 13. I don't know. My number 13, I think that, a lot of people, they tend to like this mask. But me, unfortunately, I absolutely hate it with a passion. But by no means, I'll just say that number 4 is up there. But it's not my number 13. Lydia is saying, what do you mean you don't love Michelin Man Myers? Russell is saying his number 13 is the Halloween 4 mask. James is saying Halloween 4 sucks, awful looking mask.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. And the hair is messed up on this one, but it does not really matter. Let me tell you. But what the biggest thing with me on this is Michael was creepy. There is zero intimidation in this mask. But what's also cool about Trick or Treat Studios, that's who made this mask. They got it right. They got it right. But there he is. There he is in all his
It's
Just
it's
look
like
at the sideburns, guys.
it's like the Freddy Krueger remake face.
That's Michael with the Elvis like touch. But yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
That-
it's not my number 13, but it is bad. It is in the horrible tier of
That's
masks.
bad. I had to show it to you guys, but yeah, there it is. But I will give Trick or Treat that they got that god awful mask spot on. So kudos to you for that.
And there's not a lot of people that say like, oh, that was a cool mask. I don't ever remember someone saying like, oh, it was a great mask. You know what I mean? Like,
I hope I meet that person though, because I like that. When there's an off movie that you think is garbage,
yeah.
someone loves it, but yeah, you're right, Michael. No one.
Polar is saying my favorite sequel, my least favorite mask. And that goes back to the conversations that we've had, Matt. Like, could you imagine if they put a better mask on Michael for that movie? Like.
No, you really have no idea. After you told me that, I started thinking of so many different sequences where, like, if he had a different mask on, yeah.
And I mean, the one we talk about the most, and we mentioned it on the show before, is the lightning scene. Like if you had that freaking.
It is such an iconic scene, even with that mask on. But
yeah, and I mean, it's probably why it's not my number 13. And I know that kind of goes against how you rank masks.
I'm ready for your 13th. Man.
My 13 is Halloween 5. I absolutely hate that mask so much. Like, you have no idea like how much I hate Halloween 5's mask. I cannot. I'm sorry. Like, it is absolutely it has nothing to do with like, it doesn't even look close to any of the masks. Like, it's just like another guy. It's like changing Jason's hockey mask to like a football helmet. That's what it's like, dude. That's exactly what it's like. It doesn't even resemble any of the other masks. Halloween 4
to a football helmet.
Yeah,
that's great.
like it's like, here's the thing. Like, you can have like a jacked up mask, like 4, totally jacked up, completely jacked up, but at least it resembles, like to a lesser extent, of course, like to the worst extent of the original. But 5 doesn't. It just looks like a different guy. It's like, is that Michael Myers? Oh no, that's Billy Myers. You know what I mean? Like that's Skippy Myers. Like, that's his cousin. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even look like him.
That's Jedi Myers right there. It's yeah.
I just picture them being like, oh my God, it's Michael. And it's just like, oh wait, is that Michael? And Michael's standing there like, yeah. They didn't have my old mask. I had to settle for this one, unfortunately. But he didn't even get a new one. He came out of the cave and it changed his face. It changed his mask. You know what I mean? Like, when he went down in 4 and then came floating out in 5, he had a different mask on. Oh yeah, God.
How that stuff happens.
It's like, did you even try? It's like, did you even try? You have started this movie on a horrible note for me. It's like, did you even make an attempt to make this good? It's like the people in the, behind the scenes are like, well, Michael's coming out of this. We've got to get his mask ready. Oh no, that we didn't like the last one. Let's go ahead and give him a new mask. Make it shitty. You know what I mean? Like, who said? But then again, you look at,
it resembles Nicolas Cage. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just put it on there. Just throw a white mask on there. God, just make sure it's white. You remember what happened in Halloween 4 when we had the pink one with blonde hair? At least it has black hair and it's freaking white, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, it's, oh God. And yeah, I can't. Evil May just saying, God, Matt, the H4 mask is so iconic. I was just converted from Kirk incorrectly. It was just converted from Kirk incorrectly, not fully.
Oh man.
Well, there it is. There it is. What you were asking for. Okay. Right there. James is saying, puke, put that thing away. It's making me sick. Evil Mage is saying, it is a fantastic mask.
I love it.
Jerry's saying, Kill's mask is sweet.
Okay.
Teresa's saying my favorite trick or treat mask is Halloween Kills.
Okay, we got some Kills fans here. We got some Kills, Matt.
Evil May just saying Rob Zombie's half mask is the worst for me. I just shouldn't be showing half his face. You know, I can see that too. You know, because it's not covering his face. It really isn't.
So I'm gonna say that is when it's been made custom. Most people call it like the strip tease, where they're talking to the mask where the stripper rips half of it off, right? And that won't be and it's not in my list, but
no, I just made on my list. I have Rob Zombie's Halloween and Rob Zombie's Halloween too. So
sure.
I just have them like that.
I was just trying to pinpoint if that's the exact mask they're talking about, and yeah, you shouldn't see half his face, but at that point, Rob had done so many things that you probably shouldn't do in the Halloween, where it's like, okay, whatever. And at least Tyler Mane looked cool. I mean, he really did, with the beard and everything. But, not my favorite mask, but it's not my worst. It's not my worst.
Teresa's saying, love the football helmet analogy. I do my best. I do my best.
I like that too, Michael.
Jerry's, I agree with Michael. Teresa's saying, Billy Myers, LOL. Yeah, it's how I feel.
It's Jedediah, guys.
Jedediah. I think if it was Rob Zombie's movie, it'd be Jedediah.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Dorsey, 12, Halloween 5 mask. This is kind of hard. It is.
All right, well, I'm ready for 12 if you guys are.
Evil May just saying they changed it because Shanks couldn't fit in the H4 one. They wanted an angrier regardless. All right?
Okay.
His head's too big. Make the mask shitty. I got it.
They got some serious... They know their Michael background. I love it, you guys.
All right. What do you have for number 12?
So this would be your 12. It's my 11.
Okay.
So I've got...
Let me ask you this. Did you put the Kills flashback mask in your list?
I did not.
That's the difference.
That's what it is. And there's a reason for that. But yeah, that one I did not. So I love that mask. Now, oh my God. No, you guys aren't going to kill me yet. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. You're not going to kill me yet. So my 11 is Halloween Ends.
The mask?
Yes.
It's like your second worst?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have fun tonight, Michael.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
That's cool. Yeah, we're going to be so off. And guys, I will always stick to my guns on this channel. It's simple, fun stuff. If you ask me, I'll always stick to my guns. When 2018 first came out, I was not a big fan of The Mask.
What?
Listen, hear me out.
I'm sorry. This is my inner voice coming out.
I don't know if I had the same feeling when Rob Zombie pulled the mask out of the floorboard in his H1. It's just when it's such a shock to what I'm used to, it just takes me a minute. And then the burns and the mold just making the mask worse. And I'm not a fan. And this could play a lot that I hate the film. We won't get into that. You guys know what I think about the film. It's absolutely awful. So for me, The Mask can go right there with it. And it truly does. Not just because the film is bad. The Mask doesn't do much for me. All that goodness that was in like the Kills mask has kind of faded, and they've just brought some mold. It just doesn't do anything for me, guys. It doesn't. So yeah, 11 for me is Halloween Ends, The Mask.
Whew. Okay. Well,
It
again,
gets worse, Michael.
oh, I'm
So,
sure it
like,
does.
Take some breaths.
I'm sure
Get you
it
drink
does.
of water, whatever, because it gets worse for you.
Jesus. Oh my God. I freaking lost track of where we were in
And
chat.
you've never
because
seen
of
eye
that
to eye,
craziness.
so I don't know why you're so.
Yeah. I don't know.
This one's really gonna show it.
Yeah. All right.
Still love you though, always.
Oh dear God.
You're my dude.
Jeff is saying will always be my favorite will be the Blood Tears and Halloween 2. So the Halloween 2 mask.
I can't hate on that. That's a sick mask, man. It's a sick mask.
Jeff is saying I
But
agree
you
Rob
have to
Zombie's
have those blood
H2
tears.
mask is my least favorite.
What? Jeff?
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 mask is his least favorite.
Okay, we'll talk about that, Jeff, off camera.
James, the Rob Zombie half mask didn't do a thing for me either, right after 4.
James? Okay.
Ryan is saying I would love to see the Kills flashback mask. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's
I got one for you, buddy.
when,
I got one for you, my friend, and I will absolutely show it to you.
when you drop that, when you said Halloween ends, I think this is when Jerry's what popped up. And then he said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Landing saying, "I agree. This channel is good. Thank you, Landon."
Oh man, Landon, you're my buddy. I'm glad you're on here. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, my friend. So glad you.
Russell is saying Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007 mask.
What about it, Russell?
That's his number 11.
Oh, that was his 11. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Your own mother is saying, Matt, you can't just
hit me.
So it's not just me. You know what I mean? Like it's not just me. So
it is just you guys. You got one.
And then Landon is saying she is right. So I don't know. It is pretty bad. Let's see. Like the ends mask. Okay. All right. So so it's number 12 for me, right? And I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. It's Halloween 4. That mask was absolutely terrible. Like it was just.
So I don't have to show it again.
No, we don't. There's
Let's just keep.
There's so many things wrong with that mask. Like I said, it reminds me of like the Halloween version of Freddy Krueger's face in the remake of the Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It just looks absolutely terrible.
It'd be the perfect mask if you're doing a comedy making fun of Michael. Like, let's put this on him. Like, then it would have been great.
Okay, it just Jesus. Like they tried, it didn't work. At least they made a good movie. That's really all.
They did.
Definitely that. So what do you have for number 11, sir?
All right. I am not sure if anyone is ready for this. Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah. Wow. It doesn't surprise me. Like your last comment, it's just like, yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
So you guys are seeing a trend here. The David Gordon Green trilogy mask are not Mad Matt's favorite.
You'd rather have Halloween 5 over that. That's freaking crazy.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. I absolutely would. And I got a while before I talk about that one, my friend. So, I don't hate. I almost want to say 4 is almost the only one that I'll use the word hate with would be 4. And then unless you start talking about the CGI mask and H2O and stuff like that. But as far as, the screen used for the majority of the film mask, most of them I enjoy to some extent or the other. But Kills, the half burnt look was just not it was not for me. But I still enjoy it, guys. Like I might even end up having one here it's a good custom. Like yours is gorgeous, Michael. So I guess when it comes to Michael mask, I really do enjoy them because, like I'm saying, even though this is so high on my list, doesn't mean I hate the mask. but just not as much as some of the ones I grew up on. And I'll talk some more about the other masks when I get to them and why they mean so much. But Kills is low on my list, man. I don't dig the half. He almost comes with like a Two-Face type of thing. Half burnt, half Michael, and it's not my favorite version of Michael to be half his face burnt. So I know not popular, but that's where I stand.
All right. Mad Mom is saying, I like the Ends mask. I like the Ends mask too. Didn't like the movie, but I like the Ends mask. Lydia was saying, Ends was so bad I couldn't even talk trash about how many miles per hour the wind was blowing in each scene. Yeah, definitely a bad movie.
It was so bad, Lydia.
But like I said, it's a good movie if it's not a Michael Myers movie. Like I like the movie. Yeah, but it's just not a good. A Polar is saying, what? Kills is my favorite mask.
I'm sorry, Polar.
James is saying, no way, Halloween Kills is an awesome mask.
I know it. Is there anyone that agrees with me? Please come out of the woodwork. Anyone at all.
I really wish I had like a cricket sound that I could click right now, where you just hear like the crickets. Maybe I should get that. Russell is saying, number 10, Halloween Resurrection Mask. Now I remember if everyone's answer was the same, it'd be boring. It would be.
That's probably the only reason they bring me on the show, Russell.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy's a
look at this.
idiot.
Look at this freaking
everything, just weird. You gotta get this douchebag on here.
Number 11 for me. I'm going with Halloween H2O. That mask it was 3 different masks at 3 different times of the movie. And the one that they settled on, even for reshoots, the eye holes look like footballs. You could see half his face through his mask. The hair was ridiculous, and you brought Jamie Lee Curtis back to give him a jacked up mask like that in a movie that was good, but I mean at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to take Michael seriously when he looked like he bought his mask at Walmart at 3:00 in the morning because all the mask shops were closed. Halloween H2O definitely not even close on my list to being one of the better masks. Now, granted, I like anything better than Halloween 5 and Halloween 4, so I'll throw this on there. But it's right down towards the end of the list for me. And I'm not even going to even bring up the CGI scene where they didn't have a mask on him and they just threw that CGI up there. And have you ever seen like those reviews of masks that you can buy on Amazon for like $15 that are supposed to be Michael Myers, and you put them on and it just looks like I don't even know how to explain how
but
bad.
They have a real solid picture online for it, right? Like a decent picture.
Yeah.
You get it and it's garbage.
Right. Yeah. Like that's how I felt that the CG looked in Halloween H2O, and definitely number 11 on my list for that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, yeah.
I do want to say
terrible.
Hello to my good friend Rob. You are on here, man. It's good to see you on here, and I know you love your mask. You have a sick mask collection, but I just wanted to say hello, Rob. I know you're gonna dig this stuff. But great to see you on here, my friend. Great to see you on here. So, all right. Oh man, I got another unpopular opinion. So this is 9 for me. I
just did 11.
Right.
So
now we're one off from each other.
I got you.
So 9 for me is Halloween 2, guys. Halloween 2. Now, if this was going to be Halloween 2 Blood Tears, it'd be a whole different story. It would be a whole different story. But when we're talking the original, mask that's, throughout the majority of the film, what I did not like about it, and I know, guys, I'm not a total Myers dummy. I know it's the same mask that was used in Halloween 1. It all comes down to the facial structure of Nick Castle and Dick Warlock. I 100% prefer Nick Castle had he had a long face. He stretched it out more narrow. Dick Castle had a wider, more round face, and I just do not like that look. And like when I first saw it, it almost looked like Michael had gained weight or something. It's like, what's going on? Like, did Michael's cheeks blow up or something? But I so much prefer the way that mask fit Nick Castle as opposed to Dick Warlock. And that is by no means dissing Dick, because he portrayed Michael beautifully, and I'm a big fan of Halloween too. I just, in my opinion, do not like the way the mask fit him. And it's as simple as that. And it's a shame too, because it was the same mask. It was just dirtier. It was grimy. I've heard stories where, Deborah Hill was a heavy smoker and the mask stayed in her room for 2 years where she just sat in there and chain smoked, and it turned it just nasty, grimy. And I was like, man, I wish we could have put that on Nick Castle and, just taken some shots of it or something. I'd love to see that, but I prefer the more narrow. And it just, and like I said, guys, I talked about when something's really new to me, it just throws me off. So going from, what we saw with Nick Castle to this like big bubble round head, and two, it looks silly. It looks silly to me. But then you simply add 2 gunshots to the eye and the blood trickle comes out, and I think it was gorgeous. It was iconic as hell. So I'm a huge fan of the Blood Tears mask, but that's not really the mask that was in most of the film. So
no, it's not. I mean, it's just so we're bleeding at one point,
Yeah, exactly. It comes down to the same as like a Ben Tramer mask or whatever. I consider them almost like oddities or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Halloween 2. Not a big fan of that look.
James is saying there was a really ugly looking mask in H2O. The CGI one was pretty homely looking. Yeah, I wasn't a fan. Polar, thank you very much. I always forget to do this, and I'm going to get better at that. But thank you for looking out. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, you guys. If you're having a good time with us, it really helps out the channel. And thank you again, Polar, for reminding everybody to do so. Evil Mage 567 is saying, anytime. Thank you for the invite. Love these chats. Russell is saying, I just want to say the mods are fantastic here. I've definitely got the best of the best for sure.
They absolutely are, Russell. And if I don't say it enough, thank you guys so much for what you do.
Let's see. Teresa's saying, I have to agree with you on that one. H2 is not my favorite, but still the Blood Tears I love.
Yeah, it's something about adding those Blood Tears. It's
Evil Mage 567 is saying the reason Nick replaced Dick is on Universal. If I remember, they wanted an actual stuntman playing Michael Myers.
Okay. And so yes, Dick Warlock was a stuntman, and Dick's up there with one of my favorites who's ever played Michael. He's absolutely one of my favorites. But
Evil Mage 567 said, I also believe Nick was more interested in his filmmaking career. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Like, look at this. Look at that.
Got to take the eyes out of there, though, man.
No, you don't.
You don't see Michael's eyes.
Oh, God. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Like, that's dirty, grimy, creepy. That's a part too that I really
need to put some black mesh in there.
I've got plenty with the black mesh, Michael. I like to have some with, but see, even those eyes are bleeding, dude. Like come on, those are eyes made specifically for that mask.
The mask looks awesome though.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Definitely.
When you come over, I'll take the eyes out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So
some black mesh.
Yeah.
Number 10 for me is going to be Halloween Resurrections mask. And that falls a lot along the lines of, just being able to see so much of his face through it. It was a lot better,
You cannot
than
get
it had
past
been.
that.
It did. It's just not, it definitely looked a lot better, than the ones, previous to it. Too bad the movie was just god awful as a, Halloween movie. And I,
It really was.
it just, oh god,
It really was.
yeah.
And this was what number for you?
This was 10 for me, so I
Okay.
think that you should be on like number 8.
Yeah, so I'll be on 8. So you just hit Resurrection.
I did. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to piggyback right on that, and I'm going with Resurrection. I almost like it is on the list. It's just kind of, it's take it or leave it for me. I don't hate the mask. I feel
it's hard to describe.
Reminds me of like Michael, if he was trying to wear like makeup. If that even makes sense. They were trying to put too much, like they were trying too hard to make the mask itself look mean, as opposed to let the lighting and the mask and the, do it itself. They were trying to have that in the sculpt, like almost like a, what I'm saying, like a pissed off.
He looked frustrated. Almost.
He looked frustrated in the sculpt, which the mask, if you go back to, H1, it doesn't need that. It does it on its own. So, but they didn't overkill it to where I'm like, this mask is just, on 4's level. And so it's right there in the middle for me. But that's one thing where I noticed they, they've got like this almost like, he's trying to make this grin, and
he looks like he's using the Force.
He looks like he's using the Force. James, you know what we're talking about, buddy. But he does. He looks like he's using the Force. But I've seen some really great custom, and maybe that's just me, appreciating the art when they can get these masks. I do appreciate it. Whether the mask can be dog ugly, but when an artist can get it, from scratch, their own mold, their own paint work to get it, spot on what you saw in the film, I always, appreciate that. And I have seen some killer, rehauls of a Resurrection mask. So yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But it's like they tried too hard with that mask. It's exactly what it was, I think.
I think that you put it best. Like it just looks like he had that mean, like facial, like he had expression. You know what I mean? Like
there was not need, yeah.
Yeah, something that mask definitely didn't need. Let's see. So number 9 for me. I am going with The Curse of Michael Myers. Again, we're getting into the masks that are better now. But it's still again too many facial features for me. It doesn't have that, that blank look. But then again, it is so much better, than what they had done in 4 and 5. So I think that mask gets a lot more credit because it was so much better than Halloween 4 and 5. But you look at grand scheme of things and you're holding it up to the other ones, to me, it just looks kind of almost like, and not as bad as Resurrection, but it still doesn't have that look to me, that blank, emotionless look to me. And that's basically, what I judge my Michael masks on, are the, basically from the original, what was the original vision of the mask, what was it supposed to be. And I think that it just has too many of the facial stuff for me. And I mean, I haven't even brought up the eyebrows on half of these masks, to where it's just like, wow, what are we doing here? It's like when Schumacher put nips on Batman. You know what I mean? It's like, why? Like, what are you guys doing here? It's again, that's pretty much where it's gonna stay. It's number 9 for me.
And I almost feel like this could possibly be like a, the elephant in the room type of thing. But we're sitting here talking about all these different Michael Myers masks. And guys, why was it so hard throughout this franchise for them to, replicate a William Shatner mask that they paid $1 for and painted white. Like, why was that so hard? It could not be in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will always baffle me, you know? Because, like, you know, when people come in the shop, you know, there's still people, like I was talking to you backstage, that, you know, they still think that, you know, it's the same mask in every one because they're not diehard like us. They just see a guy in a white mask, right?
Yeah.
But it is weird, you know. It's as strange as, you know, what was it, 4 or 5, when all of a sudden Michael's in this, he lived in this Victorian house, you know,
5.
like you couldn't find anything that looked like a basic home with
Right.
upstairs and 2 windows. Like, it's,
I mean, 5
you know,
was
it's comical.
5 had it had problems all the way around. You know, Halloween 4 was a success. They wanted to, you know, jump it out, you know, make it, you know, rush it, get it out, you know, and they're just, I just feel like they're like, hey, is your Aunt Linda's house still available for us to film in? You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh yeah, like she said, it's cool. And they just filmed it there. It's like, not one person was like, do you remember the house in the original? You know, it was like a shoebox with windows. Like, how did we grow into this? Like, there are so many things with 5 that makes me hate that movie so much. And the reason I hate it is because I love the franchise so much.
Right.
And it basically just, you know, 5 just basically said, I know you love this, so I'm going to shit on it right in front of you and then make you like it.
And mistakes like that I can see, like with some low budget, you know,
like Swim
B movie, you know, but this is already a solid franchise, guys, that, you know, it will always baffle me. I think, you know, could it be missing, like, hey, that window's not got the right, you know, that's one thing, you know, the gutter's not, you know, down like it should be, that, you know, all that. But, you know, this is a completely different house, looks nothing like it, is just weird. You know, same thing with the mask, guys. I don't know how they couldn't get that right. And I don't know how we got stuff like 4 and, you know, all the stuff we got, but we did. And that's why we're here talking about it this evening.
And I mean, it's like, that's like not something you do with other killers. Like maybe Leatherface, you know, because his stuff was different all the time. But I wouldn't sit here and rank Jason masks, you know, because yeah, I have my favorite. But at the same time, you're just splitting hairs for a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, they're not so much different that you could be like, oh, this one has a mark right here, so I like it more. You know what I mean? Or this one's clean, so I like it more. It's like the difference is not,
but I could rank those.
It's necessary. Like I would see really no reason. Like I made it clear that, you know, I have my favorite. You know, but other than that, it's like, yeah, 3's cool, 4's cool, 5 was okay, you know, 6 was cool, 7 was awesome, 8 I liked it,
8
you know,
sucked.
9 it's like, yeah, it was okay. Jason X, it's like, yeah, I've grown to really like that mask. That was the only one that was like really different.
It's missing 2 cheek chevrons for no reason. Like I could rank them.
Yeah, but 7 doesn't even have the cheeks chevrons.
Yeah, but it makes up for it with the crack.
Oh, so it makes up for it.
It does. It makes up for it with the crack. Yeah, and the dirtiness. Yeah, it makes up for it. Yeah. But yeah, I can rank those, but I totally see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's splitting hairs, basically.
Yeah, I get it.
Russell is saying his number 7 is H2O.
Same. I'm right there with you, Russell. You called me out.
Polar is saying 5 is a dumpster fire to me. Yeah,
Polar,
totally.
Polar. 7 is my number 7. I'm gonna go with H2O. And again, guys, 8. These were the 2 hardest as far as like H2O and Resurrection. They are simply masks. I can kind of take or leave. But when 7, if you're not talking about the god awful CGI and stuff, you're talking about the, you know, I think Stan Winston had a play in this mask, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one? There were 3.
In the main one you see in the majority of the film, not the elongated neck, not the CGI, the basic.
So the one that they used in all the reshoots.
Correct. I like it. I like it. I don't love it. I don't have a custom one here behind me anywhere. Can't go grab one, so I don't. I must not be too crazy about it. But I don't hate it. It's a take it or leave it, guys. I can't really say much about it, but it's way better than the CGI bullshit that they were trying to do. That really was god awful. And that was, and if I'm not mistaken, that was like early in the CGI days where they.
What was it, like 90? When did Halloween H2O come out?
96, 97?
Something like that, yeah.
Where they,
Well, shit, it was 20 years later, so it was 98, right?
Yeah, yes.
So there we go.
And there was a lot of bad CGI going on around then. And it was like, what was it? One scene where he's, so.
Even the look through the window of Jamie and Michael, it was just like, that could have been so much better. It could have been so much better. Like his eyes are huge. You know what I mean? It looks almost like a clown mask to me. His hair's sticking straight up.
I like the hair. I like the hair.
It's just like
I like the hair. I like the H2O mask.
I would have loved for Jamie Lee Curtis to be like, well, who the hell's that? Doesn't look like fucking asshole that was chasing me at 78.
I liked his build too and everything. Like I remember him walking down the hallway and stuff. I have no issues with H2O as far as Michael's look. It's not my favorite, but I have no issues. Yeah.
All right.
That's where I stand.
And that was number 6 for you?
That was 7 for me.
That was 7 for you? Okay. Yeah, you're right. I highlighted a little far ahead.
I'm sorry about that, Michael. I should let you know I wasn't that I pulled out flashback. I meant to do that. That's my bad.
That's fine. So my number 8 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's again, it's not one of my favorites, but I don't hate it. I don't like the fact that half of it was ripped off. But when I was making this list, I was thinking more of the dream sequence, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 than I was.
Okay, so that is what you're kind of going with.
Yeah, okay. that was what I had in my head. Was that look when he's in the hospital? I thought it looked kind of cool. But as talking about the mask being halfway ripped off, it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't like that so much at all because now granted it does make more sense for Michael to have a beard and shit from a realistic standpoint, but at the same time I don't know, the look wasn't that great for me. But then again, when you're looking at the dream sequence, none of that's a factor. Michael's just brutal as shit, and I think he looks pretty cool, and that's why I put Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 at number 8.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with you picking the dream sequence like that. That's one of the hardest ones to pick, like which one you are talking about. Like,
yeah, because it does change, in the movie. So, Teresa's saying, "I wish they would make another one and just start where Halloween Kills left off." Me too.
Yeah.
Paul's saying the CGI doesn't age well. Look at the Scorpion King. Yeah, that was so bad.
Oh man,
God, that was so bad.
I'd have to go back and see.
Oh no, it's bad. Like it's
with
historically bad. Yeah,
the one with the rock. Okay.
Yeah. Russell's saying his number 6 is 6 Curse of Michael Myers mask.
Okay.
Polar saying H2O was the sexiest Michael. That hair.
Okay.
James is saying, Matt, you need to show your Austin Custom 5 mask. It looks great. Yeah.
Oh man, thank you, James. I'll do that. I love that mask. I can totally do that. So my 6, H5. My number 6 is Halloween 5. And what great timing, James. This mask grew on me. It grew on me, and it's so funny because anybody that says it's ugly, it's this, that, and the other, I agree with them, but for whatever reason, it's almost like it's so ugly, so disturbing that it works for me, man. But this wasn't overnight. It was one that grew on me, and I'm that way, not just with masks, but, horror movies in general. I've watched stuff before where I'm like, ugh, and I've watched them 10 years later. I'm like, this movie's pretty good. So I got the mask right here. I'll show it for you. And this is a custom that was given to me by my wonderful mother about 2 years ago on Christmas. But whether you hate the mask or whatever you think about it, I don't think you'll deny that this one is not screen accurate as hell. So it actually has they've redone the hair to make the hair exactly how it was in the film. There was an added nose appliance and stuff, but yeah, that is 5 right there in all its amazing, ugly glory. But yeah, that guy, he did a hell of a job. Michael,
So
let me know. Is that what you think of when you think of 5 right there?
Yes.
Is that 5?
So I guess his sideburns washed off in the creek as he was floating down from the end of 4. Yeah.
But yeah, he did a great job. And I'm telling you, if I hated a mask, if they still get that screen accurate, I want it in my collection. I just do, because I love the artwork of Mask. But yeah, this one's grown on me, guys. It really has. And Mother, again, thank you. I absolutely love this mask. I cherish it. But yeah, 5 grew on me. But like I said, anybody that says it's ugly, I don't sit there and say no, it's not. It's just a good ugly for me. And he's creepy in it, man. He's tall, he's big, he's got, dude, I believe I'll even go as far as to say he's scary wearing this one, and that's what I want. This one's much more scary than me than either H2O or Resurrection, if you ask me. But it's very different. I get it. If it's not people's favorite, I absolutely get it. I can always see both ways. So
James is saying, at first I hated the 5 mask, and now I love it.
I was the same way, James. I was the same way.
Russell said, "Are we including Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Michael?"
Hell no.
No, we're not. Just because, if you're talking about the main masks, that's 3 of them. That would have pushed our total up really high, because we decided to go against that. We went against all of Rob Zombie's Halloween paper masks that Michael was wearing, stuff like that. Corey's Scarecrow mask, Michael's clown mask, and Rob Zombie. Michael's clown mask in the original. We probably would have been 26, 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been too much, Russell. So we decided to leave Season of the Witch out, but I did like Season of the Witch mask. I think they were cool. Melissa came by saying, "Hey, what's up, Melissa? Always happy to have you here."
Hello, Melissa. Good to see you on here.
Evil Mage 567 is SLFX was the one who did the work.
Yes. Rob, man, I knew you would come through. SLFX. Let me know what you think of that mask, my friend, because I love it. I personally love it, and I believe you had a hand in getting that in my hands, and I appreciate that so much. There's another there's the escape mask right there. We could have added that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that love that for what it is. His pumpkin mask, which is a cool oddity type of thing. I think the Ben Tramer and whatnot.
Right.
They're cool.
Yeah, but, I actually liked Corey's Scarecrow mask.
I know, and I want to get one of those in your hand, my friend. I know you do.
All right, let me just say, I liked it. I liked it on Corey. You know what I mean? Because it made him different. It made it, it just, I
know you did, and
I did. I did enjoy that mask because there was something creepy about it. It was something different where he has that mask on. And he's got that guy with his legs wrapped around him. And he's just stabbing him. I'm just like, holy shit, that's cool as hell. There's something that nobody talks about. Halloween.
You just might, Michael, have one of those coming to you before too long, my friend.
I appreciate it.
I'll just say that. You just might. But go on. I'm sorry.
There's something else, and this is actually going to be a Patreon video soon. Something that I haven't heard anyone else talk about Halloween Ends, and I don't want to get into it too much, but it has to do with that scene. So that'll be something else coming on there as well. My number 7 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. I again, like this mask, I found it decent. more along the lines of the, when he pulled it out and, was wearing it, when he was actually wearing it, when he was killing people, not so much where when he was 9 years
As
old,
an adult,
he had like
the
that
one he pulled out from the floorboard,
10-foot mask on his little body walking around. That didn't do too much for me, but I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? Like that had nothing to do with my feeling about Rob Zombie's Halloween. I thought the mask was decent. You're trying to have this reimagining of this character. Of course, the mask's going to be a little different. And I don't hate it. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. You know how I feel about the movie as far as Halloween, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the mask. Because I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it better than the H2 mask. But I think that it, looking the way that I think about things, I think that it was closer to what Michael was to me, in my head when I really think of Michael. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Number 7 for me. I thought the mask was pretty good. Definitely.
Okay.
Teresa is saying, I like the H5 mask too. I feel like it's unique. It's very unique.
It is very unique. It is very unique. And I get it's not everyone's taste, but
yeah,
I was surprised how much it grew on me. I really was. And it takes me back to the staircase scene with him and Loomis, and he does that freaking head tilt, and he's standing like he's 7'6" to Dr.
All
Loomis.
I could think of in that scene was tuck in your mask, bro. Like, that's all I could think of. Like, it was just like,
I wish you could get past that because it's a beautiful
can't.
shot. It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
The house looks great. The cobwebs. The
house looked horrible. It was a mansion. Like, it had no,
if you're not
no business being in that movie
thinking about like that, it's not the right house, man.
I mean, there's a lot of disbelief that I'm going to.
If anyone else on there thinks that scene is beautiful, please let us.
He looks to the left. Like it's oh god.
Oh, he's like a 1.5 feet bigger. He's. I love that scene.
But that was one of the things that made Michael so scary. Was he wasn't huge. He was the regular guy. That this could be anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
that was the thing with like Halloween for me, and that's why I have so many, like, not with the mask, of course.
I feel like
you're
the guy who thinks Halloween should have been left at the original and just done.
Well, I loved 18. I really loved 18. I did. And I liked 4.
I mean,
hell, I liked 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like 2. I like 4. H2O wasn't bad.
All right.
But the grand scheme of things, it's like, yeah, there was a lot of trash in there.
With you from one than I had to like, keep myself.
Yeah. But then again, I'm older than you are too. So seeing those movies as they came out,
you, Michael.
Like when you started watching Halloween, the masks already sucked. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that's the point.
That's very true.
Like,
that's very true.
Like they were already bad. Like they weren't what I grew up watching. So you're probably gonna have different opinions.
I was watching bad mask Halloween movies when I was a little girl, and then I grew up and didn't see the original until I was like 15, 16 years old. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you say when you were a little girl?
I did.
Excellent.
But so yeah, it's that long ago. So yeah.
I do want to take a moment to say what's up to Katie from Popping the Popcorn, who is here. What's up, Katie? How you doing?
Great to see you, Katie. Great to see you.
All right. Katie's also saying, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And you and Polar are always on that. Thank you so much.
Somebody's got to be, Michael,
Yeah, I know, because it sure as shit isn't me. You know what I mean? If I didn't have great mods, I'd have like 100 subscribers right now. And I can't figure out why people aren't watching my show.
Not me either, but yeah. Really. Somebody's got to do it.
Evil Mage 5C saying it looked dumb on Little Mikey, but I love the idea on how he got his mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Katie is also saying go follow Matt on Facebook at Mad Matt's Masks, and she put the link for your Facebook account.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. Absolutely. I welcome you guys. Yes. Please follow. We're doing cool things with horror.
You know me so well, Polar. Michael's pet peeve, tuck in your mask, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Creepy.
You're making me want to pull my collar up. I have no idea why, but
Tuck in your mask, bro.
I'm getting uncomfortable.
Like I think when we were at Horror Hound, I said that to like 4 different Michaels that were walking around. Like, dude, tuck in your mask.
Yes, you did. Bro. Yes, you did. Because
like,
I was walking right beside you.
Tuck in your mask, bro.
It was probably right after I said like great mask.
Yeah, and I'm like, tuck in your mask, bro.
It's like, dude, you look killer. I'm like, tuck that shit in. Yeah, the hell's the matter with you, amateur? Oh shit.
That scene in H5 of him walking down those stairs. There's an icon on there, but or a little thingy on there, but I can't see it. But I'm sure that it was fire. That scene was so beautiful, hands down. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. Which scene?
I believe they're talking about in 5 when he's walking down the stairs.
So people do like it.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Look at Michael down, and he's like, maybe. I think
like
so. I missed it, and he's like, loving I missed it. Like
1 or 2.
Just move on. What's your number 5, Matt?
It's like 1 or 2.
No, I did think that was such a cool shot. I'm not saying the movie was fantastic. I'm not, but it was a cool shot. But all right, so where are we?
Oh shit! I'm on 6, so I think that means that you're on 5.
Okay.
But Katie's also promoting the Patreon channel, so she put the link up there as well. If you are interested in supporting the channel and coming by Patreon, I would definitely love to have you there. She has the link out there, and go ahead, Matt.
Well, first off, the Patreon page is going to be phenomenal. I have no doubt. So
it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of stuff in the works,
guys. Yeah. Look out for that. It's true horror fun right there. So number 5, 2018 Michael Myers Mask.
Number 5. All right.
And guys, this was not far from being like number 10 or 11 when it first came out. I hate to I keep sounding like a broken record, but again, when something's new for me, that's Michael, blah, blah, blah. It takes me a while to I don't jump right on it. That's awesome. That's badass. I look at it almost in disgust at first, or just, that's weird. It just takes a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for me. So was not the biggest fan, but started really reaching in and I absolutely love the fact that it is similar to what Rob Zombie was doing. They're basically saying this is the same mask, and they're really even doing it in a more realistic way than Rob Zombie did. Okay, he put some cracks and stuff and did it kind of his way.
Right.
This is more like a true deterioration of latex, like more of what it truly would look like if it was this mask this many years later. Correct. And I dig that. I do dig that. There's some shots of the mask, in certain scenes where it just, I still don't really love it that much. The real famous one where he gets it out of the trunk of the podcasters, puts it on and shuts the door. I know that this is not going to be popular opinion. Everyone loves that shot. I do. I don't. I
think it would have been better at nighttime though. If it was night when they did that. But I still love it. Okay.
And I'm sure most people do. Every time I watch that, I want to look at him and say, God, I'm loving how that mask looks. But I still to this day don't. I don't think it's as cool as what that shot's trying to capture with the music and him slowly shutting the door. I'd rather see him with the Rob Zombie mask on doing that scene or something like that, or an H1. But I don't even know where I'm going with this. There's also shots that I really do like, and the mask has grown on me, very similar to the H5. And let's face it, I'm obviously not saying I don't care about this mask, because I just told you how much I love 5, and this is ranking above my 5. So
right.
I like the mask, guys. I really, really do. I just know I don't love it as much as some of the other guys do, and it definitely took a minute. So love the mask, love the idea. Same mask with true, aging. And I think they even really like did their investigation and they looked into what latex would look like so many years later. And so they did their homework on that. And
Christopher Nelson's a beast, dude.
yeah,
Like, he's a freaking beast.
he is. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they did their homework. So
yeah.
Where Rob just said, well, these cracks would look badass. This, you know what I mean?
Well, I will agree with this. It's more realistic in Rob Zombie's Halloween on how Michael got his mask back than a podcaster having a friend at the Attorney General's office that's going to give him murder evidence to stand in front of Michael Myers and hold it out in front of him. Now, granted,
I love podcasts, man. I support you. Here you go.
Look, they're going to give me Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, they're going to give me Jeffrey Dahmer's something or other because I have a podcast. Yeah, true. So I will definitely give, Rob Zombie's Halloween that, but yeah. I got a podcast. Can I get some murder evidence, please?
And that's another thing, Michael. I didn't really, it didn't crack me up as much until you had said that. You know, let's just give the amateur podcasters the mask to, but yeah, it's stupid.
He met Laurie Strode. He's like, we're filming we're making a podcast. Like, you got to get the fuck out of here, man. Are you serious? That's freaking crazy. But my number six, I'm going with Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends, I really did like this mask. And I think that why it's not closer on the list because I didn't like the movie so much. Basically what it is, it's an aged up, kills mask that's got a bunch of mold on it and everything. I like the way it looked. I like the way it looked on Michael. Corey, not so much, but I mean, if it did make Corey look kind of cool, I just hated that he was wearing it. Even when he's walking past the radio DJ, you could tell he's way shorter, he's way smaller, but that mask is still looking fresh. It's moldy, it's jacked up, but at the same time, realistically, it probably should be if he's been living in a cave and just laying there. That I can believe that some of that would happen. So yeah, I don't have too much to say because you guys know that I'm not a huge fan of the movie. But Halloween Ends is my number 6.
Okay.
Halloween Ends. I'm gonna go ahead and because you're on what number 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my number 5 real quick, just so we can both be on 4.
Yeah.
So my number 5, and there's not going to be too much to say about this, because we've talked, so much extensively about, this already, is Halloween 2, 1981's Halloween 2.
Okay.
Dick Warlock, and you brought up all the good points about it on why it wasn't, a little higher, for the simple fact that, it did look different, but I absolutely by no means hated the way that it looked, especially with it being number 5 on my list. It's just like every time I think of Halloween 2, I just picture the way he looks with that scalpel and that nurse like holding her up, in the air with that just that scalpel. And I mean, it's just to me, even as a kid, that registered like, holy shit, this is badass. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of resonated with that mask and put it higher on my list because of the way that I like that scene so much. And, the way it looks, I don't have an issue with it, definitely for the simple fact that, we know it was under a bed, Deborah Hill's bed. She smoked, it was pressed up against something for like 2+ years, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the person wearing it, what their head shaped like underneath it. That's going to shape the mask. So, I didn't hate it. It wasn't my favorite, but Halloween 2, number 5.
Okay. So then I'll go into number 4. And guys, we've been talking, but we're really talking about masks I love now. So I'm going to say Halloween 6 for me, and Moldy Myers definitely up there on mine. I love it, and you got a killer collection. Six, guys, man, I absolutely love this mask, man. I love it. And then, Michael, you touched on like too much expression, but it's all blank to me. It's not like I don't see that they're trying to make
It
you
does. It doesn't
smile,
have the expression that
grin.
Resurrection had. You know what I mean? Like that. That mean it's too chiseled for me. Like it's, it's not.
It looks like it's made out of clay, and I love it. I absolutely. I'm actually not even sure if I've ranked it right because I love it that much. I do. It's got the ears are a little too big, but like in a creepy way. It creepy is the best way I can say it. He's creepy as shit with that six mask on. And yeah, I do. The color, and it's got depth to it, but it's, they're not trying to make him grin or smile or look mad. It's still all blank and it's unique. I'd say it's still blank, but it's unique. I absolutely I love six, man. I love six. I have nothing bad to say about it. And it's different. I give it that too. So to be so different and love it as much as I do, because it's hard to do that.
Well, I mean, coming off the heels of 4 and 5 masks, I mean, it's like there's some things I could say that I'm gonna leave out, but it's.
I welcome everything you say, even if it's dogging me, man.
It's not dogging you. It's just probably inappropriate for you
but,
to.
Yeah. You don't have to try. You don't have to really, do anything too spectacular after 4 and 5. I get that, but it is way different than the original, and in a good way, if you ask me. It's up there as one of my favorites. So, it's number 4 for a reason. I absolutely love it. And I still am yet to, Rob, if you can hook me up with this. Rob, I know you're listening, man. I am definitely looking for a custom part 6 that I would have no problem paying a pretty penny for, done right. But it's also it's hard to find a good custom because I feel like Trick or Treat Studios does such a good job on their 6, like they really do. Mm-hmm. So if someone's going to make a custom, they got to really know what the hell they're doing. But so I've had a hard time finding one, but definitely on the lookout for that. Any of you guys know, let me know. But that's 4 for me, Michael.
Number 4 for me, and this is where we had differences on our list, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it because I made my list with it, is the Halloween Kills flashback mask. The mask that the flashback Michael from 78.
Yes.
I absolutely love this mask so much. I think that when Michael Myers is walking away and the cop calls his name, like Michael, and he turns around, prior to him turning around where he's walking down that alley, is one of my favorite shots of Michael of all time. It felt so original. It felt so 78. The mask looked so good, and his mask was tucked in. He had the black eyes. He's just walking down the freaking alleyway, man, just looking. I mean, I hate to use the language, but he's just looking Michael as fuck in 1978 in Haddonfield. You know what I mean? It's like that takes me back as a 45-year-old man to when I was a kid. Like, holy shit, that's the guy I'm talking about. That's Michael. And he's not huge. He's Michael, man.
So great. It was just so great.
Freaking walking, and he just kind of does that turnaround where he's just like.
It was so great.
And then he just like walks away. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care that Hawkins is behind me. Who's this kid? Who cares? And it just, the look of that mask alone, I absolutely love it. And yeah, number 4.
The only reason I didn't put that on there is because it's basically supposed to be just the original 1978 mask. But yeah, Michael, I agree, and then some with everything you said. I think I jumped up out of my seat when I saw that they were going back to 1978. I was like, man, And I know if they gave me too much, I probably wouldn't have liked it. But at the time, I was like, just give me more of this. Like, give me 45 minutes of back to 1970. I'm right there with you, man. I got goosebumps immediately. It's like, dude, we're revisiting this, and yeah, it just like, yeah, you touched it all. It takes you back to, when you're a kid watching Michael, and I'd love to get one of those in your hands too. And I have one for you guys. It's amazing.
Hey, while you're showing that mask real quick, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back.
You don't want to see this guy?
I do. I'll be right back.
Okay. So guys, this is from Red Devil Props. So this is a custom flashback mask, and God, look at that. Look at that. But yeah, that thing is gorgeous. That's from Red Devil Props. But that is about screen accurate as hell. But there you are, Michael.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I like that.
That's yeah. I hope I'm saying that right. Red Devil Props. But that is their custom, and they even did like the whiskers on the side, like 1978. But they did the brushing for some texture, but not too much, man. That's old school, man. That's Michael, man. But yeah,
that looks so good.
When I win the lottery, I'll get you one of those, buddy.
I appreciate it, man.
We'll start with a scarecrow mask, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I love that SOB. Yeah. As soon as I saw that pop up, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna own that. I'm right there with you though, Michael. That scene gave me the same feeling. It's one of the best parts of Kills, and there's some amazing scenes in Kills. But I think I would even take the flashback over the firefighter scene. I really think I'll go that far.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to choose, isn't it? Like,
it's like, yeah.
Would you rather no flashback scene or no?
I'm not ranking that. No,
that's hard to choose.
I'm not doing that tonight. Nope. Because I don't even know how I feel. Like that would actually have to sit back and think about that. Like firefighters, Jesus. Oh, I love it so much. All right, you ready for number 3?
Oh yeah. Is this your 3 or my 3?
I just did the flashback mask, so it's your number 3.
Okay. So I'm going with Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. And I'm talking about the mask that he pulls out of the floorboard when he's an adult. And this is another one, guys, go figure, that took some time to grow on me. When I was in the theater, and I was, and that's part of probably why I love this movie so much. I had so much invested. I never dreamt that they were going to remake my favorite movie of all time. And when they did, and at the same time, I was jamming to everything White Zombie, Rob Zombie. And then when I heard, it's one of my favorite musicians that's going to be doing it, I was just, I was over the moon, man. So I go in there, and when I see him pull this mask out of the floorboard, like I thought to myself, like, I was like, this can't be the mask. Like what are they? I really thought that, because it just it looks so different from just the plain white mask, no expression that we saw in 1978. And I didn't care for it too much. I ended up, even the movie, it was a movie I knew walking out, I'd just take it all in and try to get a ticket to go back the next day. But boy, did it grow on me. I thought that it was so intimidating. It was so intimidating with keeping, no expression, just aged, cracks, and I felt like it was a Michael's 1978 Mask 2.0. I really do. I feel like you say what you want about Rob Zombie's movies. He got the mask right, guys. He did get the mask right. It was awesome. And it wasn't over the top. There were no sideburns, there were no eyebrows, and he just tweaked it. He put his own spin on an original, and he knocked it out of the park, guys. I love it. It's number 3 for me.
Hell yeah, man.
But it wasn't overnight. Like, I first saw that mask and had a similar experience when I saw the 2018. It's just so love it.
Oh yeah. So my number 3 is Halloween 2018's mask. It was like you were saying before, it was aged up original. I love what they did with the mask. It was great. There's so many scenes that I can think of.
Did you love it right away?
I did. I did. Well, I mean, so what I'm coming from, the reason why I did it, the reason why I loved what I saw right away was what I've had before that. I had Halloween 5. I had Halloween 4. I had H2O. I had Resurrection. I had Curse. I had Rob Zombie stuff, and it was just like, finally, we're back to the mask that I know and recognize, the mask that scared the shit out of me as a kid, the mask that I fell in love with from Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. Those were.
And
the
you
ones
saw that in the mask right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's right there. And I mean, in all the trailers, it was the trunk closing scene, that was in the trailers when he's standing in the closet, which I wish they wouldn't have given that kill away in the trailer, but they did.
Sure.
It was just, to me, it was, Michael was back. And that's why I feel, so the way I do about it. Like, it was, they're trying to mistake that for any other mask. It's the closest thing that they've ever had to the original. It is, prior to the flashback mask,
I feel like we could do a whole show on that. Keep trailers simple, guys. God, keep them simple.
Yeah. And I mean, they've done it with every single one. All David Gordon Green's trailers, they did it. They gave away kills in 2018. They gave away the fire scene in Halloween Kills. You imagine not knowing that shit was going to happen when you saw it in the theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, dude. Like, that would have been ridiculous. Even in Ends, they gave away. If you watch the trailer for Ends, you see Corey dead on the floor right before the final battle. And you see Corey in the cave while Michael's killing somebody else. I mean, I broke down all these trailers when they were coming out, and it's just like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Why did you do this?
It is one thing they need to chill on. Like, give us the old school trailers.
I mean, before I forget, though, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but if I don't mention it, I'm going to forget by the end of the show. I want to wish a happy birthday, 35-year-old birthday, to Friday the 13th, Part 7, as of 2 days ago. Friday night was it was yesterday. Yesterday was the 35th anniversary of Friday the 13th, Part 7. One of my all-time favorites. And I just wanted to say happy birthday there, because you believe that was 35 years ago?
No, I'm still taken back, and that's one of my favorites as well.
I was freaking 10 years old, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. It makes me feel old. It does make me feel old.
What do you think it makes Laura feel?
Oh, yeah. She's going to be at Scarefest, too. She's one of the people that signed up. So maybe I'll have another chance to say hello without just standing there like an idiot. Yeah, but Amy Steele's going to be there, too, and Danielle Harris. So I'll probably be pretty quiet while I'm there. But Teresa is saying, extremely fun show, guys. I have to go to bed, though, way past my bedtime. My number 3 is Blood Tears.
All right. Well, Mother, I know I speak for Michael as well. We're always so glad to have you on here and thankful. And you sleep well. Again, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. And yeah.
All right. Number 2. Oh shit, I forgot, dude. Oh, I had the numbers. Remember, I made all the numbers,
Uh-huh.
and I knew I'd forget. I knew I'd forget about these too. So, like, I could put the little number up there, number 2, like, so we could keep track. I made
It
these
looks
numbers
good.
last
It
time we
looks
ranked,
good.
and we got all the way down to number 2.
It
And
looks good.
I've got a number 2. I'll put up number 1.
We gotta get Jedediah working that.
Yeah,
He would be all over it.
That's what do you got for number 2?
All right. $1978 original
1978.
Michael Myers Halloween mask from the original from 1978.
All right.
And this is not easy, guys. It's not easy to do. I feel like I want to go more like with a tie with 1 and 2, but I can't do that to you. I'm going to go with the original. The original I absolutely love. And I'll be honest too, though, the original I didn't view until much later into watching Halloween's. Just like you touched on, I grew up where 4 had just come out, 5. Those were the first one. I watched a ton of 4 and 5. And I'm running around as a kid. I love Halloween. And I'd never seen 1 or possibly even 2. So it was many years later. But I absolutely love the original mask. It's a classic. I don't need to tell any of you that.
Yeah.
And it's mind-blowing too. It really is. That they ran up to the local freaking thrift store and paid $1 for a William Shatner mask, ripped off its sideburns, spray painted it white, and here we are talking about it this many years later. And
Right.
He's still blowing up merchandise, still blowing out, making films, and it's impressive as hell. This is a mask they probably, after the spray paint and everything, probably had, I don't know, $2.50. And then here I am looking for a mask that looks like that, and I'm willing to pay $400, $500 for it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But they just nailed it, man. It's that. And I know you love this, Michael. It does. It comes down to, this is a man with no face, no expression.
He has no face.
Plain white mask. And gosh damn it looks good. And I must have known that, as a kid, because I've been infatuated with Michael Myers since I can even remember. And a lot of it has to do with just his look and that white face. It's absolute cinematic genius. It's gorgeous. It'll never be, it'll never be matched, if you ask me. And you can create with CGI, with the best special effects people. You can create monsters that have tubes coming out. They half cyborg, half this. You can do whatever. But in my opinion, you're not going to make them look as cool as a guy with a spray painted white freaking mask. And that is what makes Michael so special, because that's impressive, guys. It's almost like a stupid accident, if you ask me. I've seen guys that can draw. I had a buddy who drew monsters, and, he's come up with all kinds of creative things. And just like I said, you can spend all day doing that.
Sometimes less is more.
Yes, and I'm sorry, you're not going to create a creature that looks more badass than a man in coveralls with a spray painted Captain Kirk mask. It sounds so freaking stupid if you're telling somebody that, but it's true, and it's phenomenal. It's still mind blowing to me.
So I'm just going to piggyback off of you, considering my number 2 is Halloween 1978, for all the reasons you just said. But the thing that pops in my head the most is when he appears out of that dark. He just appears behind Laurie as she's standing there after she's found her friends dead, in the tombstone. And then that mask just starts to appear out of the dark. Like, that will always be cemented in my head when I think of the original. It's just the way that mask just slowly starts to come into focus, behind her from the dark. There's nothing
It's
but the
so
white
good.
in that mask. There's no eyes, there's no body. It's just the face as it comes out. And it is just it's
Masterpiece.
beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The way they did it. I can't imagine after filming that and looking at that, just being like, they had to have lost their shit. They had to be like, oh my God, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. It's 1978. You know what I mean? Like, look at the way he is just appearing. And for John Carpenter to come up with that, to direct that, to pull that onto the cinema, the screen, the cinematic screen, whatever. It is just freaking amazing. Like, and it's iconic. And like you said, like, there are things that'll never be matched. And I think that is one of them. Like, it's so simple, yet it is so effective. And, it's a thing of beauty. And it'll always be synonymous with that, that mask for me.
And we're not saying simple loosely. Like, it is simple.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I'll say this too, though. I don't know. I'm sure, like, they thought, these scenes were, cool and great and everything. But I still doubt they had any idea the impact it was going to have, especially.
Well, I mean, for horror fans, I mean, you got to think in 1978 too, horror was frowned upon,
right?
Like
Donald Pleasance wasn't even happy playing the role.
I mean, shit, there's a lot of people that weren't, like, even Jamie Lee Curtis is like, look, I'm trying to get out of horror. It gave me my start, but I'm trying to go. You remember for a long time, she didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so frowned upon in Hollywood, and it didn't become popular until, not too terribly long ago. When you think about the, grand scheme of things, it's, everybody's, oh, it's another shit. Half the time they were calling Michael Myers Jason. You know what I mean? Like, it was
absolutely frowned upon. That is not an understatement. It was.
Jerry put this up. He said, I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I love it, Jerry. Jerry, that is freaking awesome.
That is awesome.
Polar is saying, can you imagine finding out a low-budget horror movie used your face as their mask, and now it's an iconic mask? William Shatner does not give a shit about Halloween, and that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that. Like, he doesn't care about it. But William Shatner's William Shatner. So if I found out they used my face, I'd be like, yeah, you need to give me a check, and I'll let you make as many masks as you freaking want. You can even age Michael with my aging face. That's freaking awesome.
And it could be a shitty check.
Yeah, like, seriously.
Like, I'm not talking big money. I'm just, oh, shit.
Just let me be there when you film it, motherfucker. Like, put my name in it.
Man.
James is saying Halloween 1 is by far my most favorite mask of all time. And Russell is also saying number 1, Halloween 1978 mask.
I think I know a close second for you, James. I think I know a close second.
Simple pair of coveralls and a white painted Captain Kirk mask. Who would have thought?
Seriously, who would have thought? Like,
I mean, I think they also had like a clown mask as well that they were going to use.
And I'm so glad they aborted that.
Yeah. I mean, would it still have the same impact Halloween? Would it, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it would. I do not think it would.
All right, man. Number 1.
This comes down to, well, what's a mask? It's all about the look. This comes back. I absolutely love the look of this mask, guys. And my number 1 is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 Dream Sequence mask. It is like everything I could ever want in a Halloween mask. And I also, I have to give shout out to the original. This mask would not be without the original. It basically is the original, just someone else's version. Um, but like I said, Rob Zombie nailed it with his, in my opinion, with his twist on the mask. The age effect, still keeping that sculpt of, still has the William Shatner look, even. But you take that, you age it, you add a gunshot wound with blood, parts of the side torn out. It's just stupid good look. It's my favorite. And it just goes solely on look, And there's one I've had in mind for the longest time. I hope I can get that and maybe show you guys next video or something. But there's an artist named Jamie Grove who actually worked on sculpting the mask for the Rob Zombie films, and he sells on Etsy. But he sells a dream sequence called like Trauma Victim or Trauma Ward Killer or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty pricey, but it's gorgeous. And then when he's out there in the rain, and the hair's coming down on his face, and it's like kind of like matted and almost dreadlocked. And it's probably my favorite mask, not just in the Halloween franchise, but probably of all time. Probably of all time. I'll go as far as to say that. And I'm a huge mask fan.
Yeah.
So that's my number one. And I hate to say that because it's so close with the OG. It's so close, but it's again where I feel like it's the OG, like 2.0, like, on steroids. But I absolutely love it from either shot, whether it's the busted up, bloody shot, or the, a little bit more clean, how the hair is matted. Everything about it, I absolutely love. So my number one, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 dream sequence mask, which really isn't even, it's debatable. That's not even a mask in the film,
Right.
It's very debatable.
Yeah. It was there though.
It was.
It's like the flashback mask. It was there.
It was.
And that's the one I thought of when I put it. Mine. Was the dream sequence because
I was surprised, but yeah, it's so good looking.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad looking mask.
And menacing. Like, dude, if that guy's coming at you looking like that, like, no.
Well, there's only one left for me. And I'm pretty sure that anyone who's ever watched this channel knows, what my favorite mask is. And that is Halloween Kills. That is by far my favorite Michael mask of all time. Like, I love the original, but there's something about Kills. He's got the bullet wound on the side of his face. Half of his face is burned, but it's not gone. It's still there. And the look on his face coming out of that freaking house on fire, it's just, he stood there burning, at the end of Halloween 2018. He just looked, that emotionless Michael, the Michael that I love so much, was back, and he came out of that thing, man, a beast. That's probably the first time you ever saw Michael show any emotion, and he was pissed off. He was just that mask to me.
In beast mode, like.
That mask to me, it's my favorite, and they're gonna have to come out with something it's pretty freaking awesome to replace that as my number one. And shit, as long as I've known you, it's always been Kills.
And that makes me so glad that you have that amazing Kills behind you.
Oh yeah, that was the first one. Like, you were like, I'm getting customs. I'm like, Kills. You getting Kills?
But I honestly didn't know, Michael. That I didn't know that it was your number one.
Oh yeah,
I knew you liked it. I didn't know it was your number one.
No, number one.
So yeah,
like, if that was the last mask they ever made for Michael, I would be perfectly happy with that. But of course it wasn't. Ends isn't that far off, but when you start adding the mold, to me, it takes away from how beautiful that mask was. And not only, the look of it when it's dry, but when he's soaking wet coming out with those firefighters, man, it puts a look on his face, man. And I saw it in the trailer right away when that movie was coming out. And I was just like, this is the baddest motherfucker of all time, right here.
And,
Look at
and,
him.
and ends also, which rightfully so.
Yeah.
The mask on ends washes out some of those details of a kills.
It does.
Because it is so old. And,
Right.
Dried up by the sun or, whatever it is. But they do it right. So I'm not upset about it.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? It does take out some of those kills details.
And I mean, those are just some of the things, like, kills when he's coming out of the fire. Halloween 2018, where she's looking out the window and he just kills, her daughter's husband. And Michael's just standing there and looks through the window. He's out by the cop car. Just that look alone for me is just like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Like, this is so freaking awesome. And it's that's why 18 is so high. Like, it's just
so great when you're on a Michael ride, especially when you're watching a film that is good in the Halloween franchise. Like, I've always said this. There's nothing like it in my life. I know it sounds simple, but maybe my life just sucks that bad. I don't know.
Well, shit, man.
One of the best things in my life has always been when a new Halloween comes out. Like, dude, there's nothing else like it. There's nothing else like it when it's your baby.
Even when he's in the back of the cop car and, he's passed out, knocked out, and he comes back and Andy Matichek's character looks over at him like this and he just turns and looks like, holy shit.
I'm in the back seat with Michael Myers.
I'm glad you're more pissed off at this guy than you are me. You know what I mean right now? Because it's like you could easily just kill me and then kill him.
Yeah.
But you were so pissed at him, you went right after him. But when he just looks over and when he's standing over Sartain before he steps on his head, I'm like, man, that is the most awesome looking shit. Like, those masks to me, man,
sometimes you surprise me, Michael, that you do, because sometimes you do surprise me that you do choose Jason over Michael. Because there's some times where you can get talking about Michael where I'm like, dude, that's your boy.
I love Michael. I love Michael. Like, you wouldn't believe.
And I get that, because you might feel the same way sometimes when I talk about Jason. I don't know. But I just had to say that there's some times where, and I love it because I get goosebumps with some of the stuff you say about Michael, because we always view it in different ways, and you say stuff I don't really think of the same way, but when you bring it up, it hits me, and I freaking love it. But I can tell he barely takes the backseat to your boy. I can tell.
Yeah, it's like you have your favorites. And we haven't really even, we've spent a lot of time, like, we ranked Friday the 13th, but wait until we deep dive into Friday the 13th and you'll really see it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Michael. I think Michael might be the coolest looking serial killer, of any of these of all time, based off of his look, but there are certain connections I have to Friday the 13th to where it'll never pass it. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I can't love Michael with all of my, I could sit here and talk Halloween all day. I love Halloween. That's absolutely love Halloween. You get into Jason, you want to see all types of excited. Wait till we start deep diving into those. And I'll probably wait until Crystal Lake gets a little closer before we start, jumping into those. But yeah, man, like, there are so many like Halloween kill scenes where it's just like when he's stabbing that guy in the back and playing with the knives, just the way he look the way he looks with his mask and everything is he's stabbing that girl in the neck with that light bulb. It's just like, oh my God, dude, he looks freaking amazing. Like, that guy comes running out, like, there's a big guy in the bathroom and he's wearing a monster mask. You know what I mean?
And to go from that to ends is just wow. But and you know what, I was touching on this with Lydia a little bit this week, guys. I feel like we got a lot of good stuff coming as far as for us horror fans. Michael, I'm stoked for you. I'm stoked for myself, but I'm really stoked for you to get some solid Jason in there. I know that's your boy. I know what it feels like when it's your boy, and I hope it's solid. I hope I can watch some of that with you.
Yeah.
You know, because there's also nothing like watching a franchise with someone who is diehard about it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can catch some of that. But I feel like we're in for some really kick-ass shit, man. The Nun 2 is getting ready to come out. You've got Jason right around the corner. I'm even okay with Michael being on the back burner for a minute. That shit needs to
I think he needs to be.
I agree. I agree. But I think we've got some really cool. The Conjuring stuff I'm excited about, man.
Yeah.
This
new Haunted, whenever this comes out, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean, basically. Yeah.
So that stuff too. Got Insidious 6 coming out here soon.
And there's been some great Insidious, man. And those are the movies you start talking about, James Wan, Insidious, Conjuring stuff. Those are the movies where you want to, get in the horror den, come down to the horror den, and turn the lights off, hit a few candles, and I can still get creeped out. I can still get creeped out, and I love it. So, yeah, I think we got some really cool stuff coming up. But it's been a pleasure tonight, man. It's been my pleasure.
Russell is saying Insidious 5, Michael. Didn't we have this debate not too long ago? I'm pretty sure it's Insidious 6. I am pretty sure it's Insidious.
No, remember, I thought it was Insidious 4 coming out. But then you guys told me that there
maybe
already
it is 5. Yeah, maybe you did say
there already is a 4.
Yeah.
There's one that's went through the cracks for me. I just know Insidious 1, 2, and the Lost Key or whatever.
Yes, it is 5. Thank you, Russell, for that. It is 5. But yeah,
we knew Russell wasn't bullshit.
Yeah, Russell's always got the information. Let me tell you. But yeah, I mean, the new Insidious coming out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out. That's, I'm sure that Texas Chainsaw is going to come out with something soon. Netflix, they've been over a year there, and I think it did fairly well on Netflix compared to some of the other movies that they made. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to have something. I know that they're releasing their game here soon. I'm excited to play that. I've seen some of the walkthroughs of that game. It looks pretty fun. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
I wouldn't even mind them continuing this Hellraiser thing. The last Hellraiser was very solid, if you ask me.
We got the new Alien movie coming out.
No, I haven't heard much about that. I'm dope. But God, I want Alien to go back to more roots and not the Covenant, Prometheus bullshit. I do, man. Like, come on. Don't do these weird aliens that don't look like the xenomorphs. Give me xenomorphs. Give me queens, man. I hope they do that right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm wrong and everybody else loves the other stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, you look at Aliens, the sequel, that movie's stupid good. It's stupid good. And I liked Coven, but it doesn't come close to that. Like, I'd love to see Aliens go back to their roots, man.
I mean, it's kind of hard because Sigourney Weaver doesn't want anything to do with it, but I'd love to see her come back and do like Aliens, like a continuation from like Aliens.
I don't know if I would. If she doesn't want anything to do with it, then hell with her.
Hey, I would love to see it. I love Ellen Ripley, and I think that Ellen Ripley's Alien 3, it wasn't a good conclusion, for me anyway. With the
I don't know why she doesn't want to come back.
Oh no, she's working on stuff like Avatar, so it's
kind
of hard when you're hitting them $2 billion box offices.
Yeah,
to go back to a Hulu movie. An Alien.
There's always something that'll take your spot, though. Gladly. I can do it. I know you are, and I like Ripley too. Don't get me wrong, but she's not my. If you say, "Hey, we'll get rid of her, but we'll add 3 queens," I'm okay with it.
3 queens. Look, we couldn't get Ellen, but we're going to throw another queen in there. So
we got 3 queens, and
there's that.
Freaking bite the head off a T-Rex and throw it, and I'm like, okay, cool.
There's definitely that. But I mean, you know, she's not coming back, dude. Like Avatar. I mean, where they hitting like 2 billion
I just don't
every movie they make.
I hate to keep bringing up Queen, but I just don't think we've had enough of the Queen, dude. You know, back to AVP when that Queen breaks free and she's charging through the freaking temple and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
dude, you can do some badass shit with a Queen alien, man, and some predators. And
it's like I wonder how big she can get. You know what I mean? Like, how big is this Queen gonna get? Like, what's a full grown Queen look like?
And that's got a body full of acid blood. Like, how you gonna mess with that, dude?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you chain it.
But I don't know how we got on that. But yeah,
throw it in a frozen ocean.
Throw it in a frozen ocean. Yeah. That was actually
That's how you get rid of it. But yeah, great show, everyone, and I had a blast with this. Matt, hang around backstage for a minute. Kind of talk about what we're gonna do next week. And I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. For all the people that are still here, for all the people that attended, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We do this every Sunday. We'll be coming back next Sunday with something different. Not really sure what that is yet, but it'll definitely be something that it's going to be a blast. Like I was saying before, if you haven't checked out Patreon yet, please check out the Patreon /MoviesAndBeyond. We have got some really cool stuff coming out there that I'm very excited about. It's just getting everything transferred over to there, and we'll start doing live shows some Friday nights, probably like 1 or 2 a month. I'll be over there. They'll be a little different, but again, great show. I always love to talk to Michael. I mean, I feel like we hadn't talked to Michael in a while, and that's something that I want to do. But yeah, great show, everyone. I want to thank everyone again for being here. Matt, I'll talk to you backstage, and I want to tell everybody thank you, and I will see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.